Ever wonder how companies like Google sort through, like, thousands of job applications?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
how do they even begin to deal with that?
Yeah.
Today's deep dive throws open the doors of HR
Okay.
to reveal how AI is changing the game.
Right.
And we're not talking about some distant future.
Yeah.
This is happening right now.
Absolutely. This is happening right now and in ways that are probably more surprising than you'd expect.
Okay.
We're going to be diving into real-world case studies from companies like Unilever,
Wow.
even a German startup incubator,
Okay.
all thanks to this article we found by a British data scientist.
Okay, so this data scientist, he's clearly been paying attention to the hype around AI.
Right.
But he kicks off the article with what he calls the AI paradox.
Okay.
Have you heard about that?
Yeah. It's fascinating, isn't it? On the one hand, you've got everyone talking about AI,
Right.
investing heavily in it. But then on the other hand,
Yeah.
a recent MIT report actually found that only 11% of companies using AI are actually seeing profit increases.
Which is kind of crazy when you think about it.
It is.
It's like buying a top-of-the-line sports car
Yeah.
and then only using it to, like, drive to the grocery store.
Exactly. The potential is there,
Yeah.
but it's about harnessing it effectively.
Right.
And this article argues that the key lies in collaboration, figuring out how humans and AI can work together, especially in a field like HR.
And they break this collaboration down into 4 distinct models.
They do.
But before we jump into those, I think it's helpful to understand the concept of division of labor.
Right, because this idea is central to how we think about AI and humans working together, even in HR.
Okay.
Think back to economics class. Adam Smith and his pin factory.
Okay, vaguely.
So Smith argued that by breaking down the process of making a pin into these specialized tasks, you could dramatically increase efficiency.
Yeah.
One person draws the wire,
Right.
another straightens it, another cuts it, and so on.
Right.
This division of labor, this specialization, leads to greater productivity.
Okay, so how did that apply to AI and HR?
Yeah.
I mean, HR is already pretty specialized.
It is, but think about it. In a small company, one person might handle all aspects of HR.
Right.
As the company grows, those tasks get divided.
Okay.
You have recruiters, trainers, compensation analysts.
Right.
AI simply takes this division of labor a step further.
It's like bringing in like a specialist.
Mm-hmm.
But in this case, the specialist is AI.
Precisely. And the article lays out 4 models for how this collaboration can play out,
Okay.
each with its own strengths.
Right.
It's about finding the right model for the task.
Okay, so walk me through these 4 models. What's the AI HR playbook look like?
The first model is automation, which is probably the most familiar.
Okay.
This is where AI takes over tasks that are like rule-based and don't require human judgment.
Like all that paperwork nobody wants to deal with.
Exactly. The article gives the example of a German startup incubator.
Okay.
They were getting bombarded with like basic questions from job applicants.
Yeah.
So they implemented a chatbot.
Right.
The chatbot handles those FAQs,
Okay.
freeing up their human recruiters to focus on more complex tasks like building relationships, really evaluating cultural fit.
Right.
Things the AI, at least for now, can't do as effectively.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not about replacing humans.
Right.
It's about letting AI handle the repetitive stuff
Mm-hmm.
so humans can focus on the human stuff.
Exactly.
Huh.
Now, the second model is ensemble.
Okay.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
This model combines the strengths of AI and humans for greater accuracy,
Okay.
kind of like getting a second opinion.
So it's not just one or the other.
Right.
It's about humans and AI working together to make better decisions.
Exactly.
What kind of HR tasks would this work well for?
The article points to things like forecasting employee turnover.
Okay.
AI can analyze mountains of data,
Right.
employee surveys, performance reviews, even emails, to identify patterns and potential red flags that humans might miss. But then you have human experience and intuition
Right.
to interpret those findings and decide what actions to take.
It's like having a superpowered research assistant
Mm-hmm.
that can process information at lightning speed,
Yeah.
but you're still the one driving the car.
It's a very apt analogy. Now, the third model, co-pilot, is particularly intriguing.
Okay.
Imagine AI as your co-pilot,
Mm-hmm.
assisting with these complex tasks, but the human is still firmly in the pilot seat, making the ultimate decisions.
So AI is taking on some of the heavy lifting, but it's not calling the shots.
Right.
Do they give any real-world examples of this?
They do. Unilever, the consumer goods giant, uses a co-pilot model for recruitment.
Okay.
They receive millions of applications each year.
Oh, wow. I can't even imagine.
Right. So they use an AI system to handle the initial screening of applications
Okay.
and even conduct the first round of interviews.
Wow.
This frees up their human recruiters to focus on those candidates who make it through that initial screening,
Right.
leading to more focused and meaningful interactions.
That's smart. So the AI is acting like a giant filter,
Hmm.
weeding out applications that don't meet the basic criteria.
Yeah.
What's the final model in this AI HR playbook?
The fourth model is augmentation, which focuses on using AI to enhance, not replace human intelligence.
Oh.
Think of it this way. AI provides you with data-driven insights and recommendations,
Mhm.
but it's ultimately up to the human to weigh those recommendations and make the final call.
So it's less about AI taking over tasks and more about AI empowering humans to make better decisions.
Exactly.
What kind of real-world applications are we talking about here?
The example they use is the Korea Electric Power Corporation, or KPCO.
Okay.
They use an AI system to analyze job candidates for key positions.
Okay.
The system looks at things like skills experience, even personality traits gleaned from interviews and assessments,
Mm.
and then provides a quantified assessment of each candidate's fit for the role.
It's like a super-powered matching algorithm, but for jobs.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that KPSO has found that using this AI system has not only made their hiring process more efficient, but also helped them identify candidates who might have been overlooked using traditional methods.
It seems like these AI-powered tools have the potential to make HR more efficient and potentially more fair.
Yeah.
But are there any downsides to all of this? I mean, AI isn't perfect, right?
Right.
But are there any downsides to all of this? I mean, AI isn't perfect, right?
Yeah. You're right to be cautious.
Yeah.
AI is a powerful tool,
Mm.
but like any tool, it needs to be used responsibly.
Right.
And that means being aware of its limitations.
So what are some of those limitations when it comes to AI in HR?
Well, one thing the article points out is
Yeah.
that these systems are only as good as the data they're trained on,
Yeah.
if the data itself reflects existing biases.
Right.
The AI system can inadvertently perpetuate those biases, even amplify them.
That's a bit concerning.
It can be, yeah.
So how do we prevent that from happening?
It's a challenge, but there are steps companies can take.
Okay.
For example, they can carefully audit the data they use to train their AI systems,
Mhm.
making sure it's diverse and representative.
Right.
They can also build in mechanisms to detect and mitigate bias in the AI's decision-making process.
So it's not just about implementing the technology.
Right.
It's about doing so thoughtfully and ethically.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that AI is a tool.
Yeah.
And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Right.
It's up to us as humans to guide its development and use in a way that benefits everyone.
This has been incredibly eye-opening. It's clear that AI is already changing the HR landscape in some pretty significant ways.
And this is really just the beginning. As AI technology continues to advance,
Right.
we can expect even more innovative applications in HR and beyond.
It makes you wonder what the future holds for this technology, not just in HR,
Yeah,
but in like every aspect of our lives.
absolutely. It's an exciting time to be thinking about these questions, that's for sure.
It certainly is. Well, that feels like the perfect place to surface from this deep dive. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the AI paradox to the 4 models of AI-human collaboration,
We have
and even some of the challenges that lie ahead.
definitely a lot to think about.
And for you listening, we hope this deep dive has given you a new perspective on the future of work and the increasingly important role AI will play in it.
Here, here.
Until next time, keep learning, keep asking questions, and as always, stay curious.